I have a question I've been wondering about for many, many years. I'm 72. I've been on a whole food plant-based diet since 2012 when I was diagnosed with mantle cell lymphoma. And before that, for years, when I lay down at night to go to sleep, my heart feels like it's fluttering, flip-flopping. And years ago, my doctor said not to worry about it. So I kind of did, but I've often thought about it since I've been whole food plant-based, it doesn't do it as often. And I only feel it when I'm laying down to go to sleep. So what's happening, and should I be concerned?
Sure. So again, general comments, and thank you for your question. Technology advances, not just nutrition science. So many of my patients have an Apple Watch, and I don't have. Maybe I have stock in Apple. I don't know. I don't think I do. I wish I did. An Apple Watch can monitor heart rate, can monitor a full 12-lead electrocardiogram. My mother, God bless her, turning 90 soon, sends me her full electrocardiogram from her Apple Watch. If she has any irregularity, she senses, and it's extremely useful and accurate. People that don't want an Apple Watch, it's expensive. You can go on one of the big online sellers. There's a device I didn't make called Cardia, Kardia. It costs between $69 and $89. If you have a smartphone, if you're having those flutterings, you put your fingers on this little device you buy, and your smartphone shows you your heart rhythm. And my patients all the time send me, look, I had fluttering last night. What do you think of my recording? And I tell them not to worry. It's really diagnostic. You need data. And even heart monitors, talk to your doctor. If you're having these most nights, there are now heart monitors that are the size of a Band-Aid. They are so tiny. It's what I use in my clinic. And people don't mind wearing them for 48 hours, 14 days. So you really want to try and nail down what it is, because there are very benign flutterings. And then there's something called fibrillation, and you don't want to take the risk that you're having fibrillation. You just got to find out.
Thanks, Dr. Kahn. And up next, we are going to bring in Xenia. Welcome.
Hello. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you for sharing this information, Doc. My question, I'm really puzzled about this egg business. I've been promoting it for a while because to lower the cholesterol issues, the niacin factor of it. So I've been promoting this in this new study that has come up. I don't know. I think it's recently, but I'm just really puzzled with this egg. Should I do it or not do it? Because I've been promoting it for a long time.
Right. I presented the most recent study, which is also an overview about many older studies of quality. This is certainly not the first and only study, and it's been like a tennis match, back and forth. And you always have to see who did the study, who funded the study, who are the researchers funded by. And it's difficult to do nutrition research. We're not all the same. In my clinic, I do a blood test on patients that tells me if their gut, if their genetics cause them to increase cholesterol absorption if they change their diet. If you're one of those, they're called hyperabsorbers. It's a simple blood test. And you start adding in more egg yolk, you're going to see your blood cholesterol go up. Now, there's other people that are not hyperabsorbers, and if they're eating eggs in a mixed diet, they may not see much rise in their blood cholesterol. But most people don't do it as a study. They just see one more headline that promotes eating eggs as a healthy brain food, and they're adding lots and lots of eggs, and they don't ask the question, I wonder if that's working for me. How did my cholesterol do on that? So if you're going to shift your diet, and I'd always advise a no egg diet to my patients, but if they're going to do it, I tell them to have a very limited amount of egg white with lots of vegetables. I don't do that. I am 100% plant-based, but if they're going to, that's consistent with Dr. Ornish's reversal studies. That's an option, although they don't necessarily need the plant-based protein in the egg whites. There's plenty of excuse me, the animal-based protein, egg whites. There's plenty of plant-based proteins. So I'd suggest you to look over all the data. I think the study I presented is very powerful.
Thanks very much for that, Dr. Kahn. Up next, we have Kathy. Welcome, Kathy.
Hi, thank you for taking my call. Yeah, I was wondering about blockage in the heart and changing your diet. I've been working on that for a while, on changing it, but I seem to have problems in my lower legs with swelling, and I'm wondering. I think that has to do with my heart not pumping strong enough, but I've also been told that it has to do with the veins and not compressing or not doing what the veins are supposed to do. What do you recommend, doctor, about anything that would help with that particular issue?
Again, can't examine you over the Zoom meeting and want to be general in my comment, but doctors develop something called a differential diagnosis. And when I see a patient with leg swelling, I do that. And could they have varicose veins after having delivered children or for other reasons? Absolutely. Might require an ultrasound of the leg veins and see if they're present. Could they be on a medication that causes ankle swelling, like some of the most popular medications used in the world? Absolutely. Could there be a cardiac problem? Yes. And there are both echocardiograms that are usually ordered and sometimes a blood test called the BNP, Betty, Nancy, Patty, BNP blood level. That's widely available and very informative. And you want it to be normal. So you have to go through all that. There are some nutrients in plants that are very good for veins. They're not all food plants. There's one called pycnogenol from the bark of a French pine tree, PYCNOGENOL. There's an antioxidant called rutin, RUTIN, that does come from foods, and others that promote healthy veins. You might read about them, and certain vitamin companies make supplements for healthy veins, but you probably want to figure out why. That's what I'd recommend to a patient in my clinic.